Hello, good people. It's the angry black man. It's a term that I receive with honor. Thank you for the blessing. Black men in America, we must start getting angry again because the despicable position our children are in necessitates us acting and us galvanizing and us coalescing and us working together for the elevation of our culture, which elevates every culture. We are some of the most phenomenal people on earth. We come from the first people. We come from the great people. We aren't better than anybody else, but we are great in and of ourselves. A lot of people want to call me a black nationalist. I want to say, quite frankly, I am a human internationalist. I want the elevation of dignity, the security of every human being, because I follow what the creators tell us to do. And if you don't like that, oh boo-hoo. Let's get back to what I'm talking about. Black men, today's topic will be the boo-boo that we do. And I would explain why I named it that. Every time we turn around, black men, we don't get galvanized, we don't get insulted unless white people pay attention. And we think about how we can monetize that. What do I mean? This is what I mean. We fight the easy battles that devastate our culture when the lights are on us. But when the lights aren't on us, we continue to let the poison metastasize in our community and become cancerous. Black men, ask yourselves how many times, if you work in a school system, we see the worst things happen to black children and we turn our head for a promotion or salutations or the whimsical gifts of some white woman that we're looking to find favor with. How many times have our black children in school looked at us as if to say, save me, save me. You see what's happening. You see what racism is doing to me. And we turn our head and then we pretend to be ignited on Black History Month. Black men, how many times in the streets do we radicalize young black boys and girls into becoming the worst citizens with no village values because we are caught up in our own insecurities? Black men, how many times do we look at an accomplished black man that hit the books and made a life for himself, and we want to call that brother square or sucker or trying to be white? Nah, black man, that brother is doing what's right. Educated black man, credentialed black man, how many times do you turn your nose down at a brother that has street brilliance, street resilience, that's doing something for his community, and you say, well, he don't have the books, so he should succumb to the left hooks? How many times as a people do we infest our children's mind with love and hip-hop, somebody's housewives, the worst behavior that we constantly allow them to watch on television? How many times have we told our children they're too dark, too light, too fat, butt was flat, butt was too big? Black men, we are doing this to our children. We are killing them at home. And then we wonder why they can't survive in the real world. Black moms and dads, how many times have you rushed up to the school and said, what happened to my kid? Black parent, you did. How many times have you cursed out everybody in the car, everybody at home, and made your child think that there was no village values, no accountability, and they get to the school, they don't exhibit any, and yet you want to blame it on the staff at school? Black man, how many times have you told your daughter that she didn't look good, or her features are too African or too white? What do you think you're creating in that child who has to go into a world of white supremacy and excel? Black men, how many times have you called yourself the N-word countlessly and then rallied when somebody white did it, and you want to have a discussion about how hard the R is? The word is despicable, and if we don't want to hear it, we can't use it. We don't own that word, black people, by the way. It is foolish to think that you own a slur created by your once oppressors. Think about what I'm asking you. Black men, how many times in school have we attacked a black girl for having weaves and cornrows? And I see you got your weave again. And how many times have we invalidated black children in school, black men? And we wonder why when they get processed on or they graduate, They no longer pay attention to us because these children who are brilliant, resilient, strong, morally present, they look at us and they say, well, you never had my back for 4 years. All my educational high school experience, why should I listen to you now that I'm in these streets and uneducated? Black men, it is up to us to stand up. It is up to us to wake up. It is up to us to clean up. It is up to us to stop fighting ourselves and measuring our success by someone else's failure. It is up to us, credentialed black men, street brilliant men, to start coming together and uplifting each other. People always say that a rising tide lifts all boats. Let's lift our culture out of the moat. Black men, we can do it. We are some of the most gifted, brilliant people on earth. Studies have shown, black men, that even when we are not in the household, we are the most present men when it comes to our children. Black men, not only can we do this, black men, we must do this. We ain't new to this, black men. Let's be true to this. Now you see why I call myself the angry black man, because it is something we must get. We must get ignited. We must get reunited. We must do this. It is not a demand. I am not slandering or maligning us as men. I just know this. If you come from the first culture, if you come from phenomenal ancestry, why can't we take the time to check and correct each other? Why do we so easily rally around the easy victories of, in many cases, fighting white mistakes, not white supremacy, because we won't do that. Have you noticed how many times, black men, that we won't fight colorism? We won't fight ageism. We won't fight Islamophobia. We won't fight anti-Semitism. We won't fight queer hatred. We won't fight Asian hatred. We definitely won't fight white supremacy, but we will battle each other. Sometimes, black men, we will grovel at the feet and suckle at the teat of white supremacy. But we won't fight for each other. We will fight each other. We are teaching young men to get guns instead of catching their ones. We are teaching young girls that they have to be a savage in order to get anywhere instead of honoring the beauty of these kings and queens. We are teaching black boys that they should not cry. What's the reason why? We are letting our hatred of self be an extension of what we impact and what we impart in these youth. Let's ask ourselves a question, black men, because we say we are developed. We say it's been a long time. Let's ask ourselves this: how much of our history, which really means our presence, are we actually teaching our children? Let's take this test right now. Remember that movie, Boys in the Hood? And I believe that one guy was in class calling another young black man an African booty sniffer or African booty scratcher. To this day, black youth still laugh at that in the classroom. It should be an utter insult to them, but we are not teaching this at home. There are brilliant black men bragging about how they are teaching their daughter to read and how they read with their daughter every day. Duh, you're supposed to. But there are much more black men telling their daughters that they don't matter, telling them you can only get something through how you look instead of how you open that book. Fire a gun instead of catch your ones. Black men, let's rise and not despise. This message was for you to elevate, not to hate. I speak the truth. I come like Josh Gibson. I ain't Babe Ruth. Black men, let's do this because we can. It's for our culture, which lifts all cultures. Remember, our culture lifts all cultures. Let's have pride. Malcolm X said, black man, you must wake up. You must clean up. Then you must stand up. Peace and love. This is Coach Assad, otherwise known as King Tut. I'm here to lift you out of this rut. I'll see you soon. Masalah.